There comes a point where you have to stop waiting, stop wishing, stop blaming, and look in the mirror. That person staring back at you, that's the only one who can save you. Not your friends, not your family, not society, you. And if you're still breathing, then you still owe it to yourself. You owe it to the child you used to be, the one who dreamed without fear. You owe it to the future version of you who's still waiting to be built. You owe it to the pain you've survived. You owe it to the silence you've endured. You owe it to the goals you gave up on. And you owe it to the greatness you buried under excuses. You don't get to live soft and still expect a powerful life. You don't get to slack off and still want to be respected. You want strength? Earn it. You want clarity? Fight for it. You want peace? Create it. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe everything to yourself. You don't need more motivation. You need a standard, a pact with yourself that says, I will not go back to who I used to be. I will not settle for average. I will not quit on myself again. That's the moment everything changes. Not when people support you, not when it gets easier, but when you decide. You owe it to yourself to be better than the version that gave up, to rebuild, even if you're broken, to rise, even when no one claps, to show up, even when it hurts. You're not doing this for attention. You're doing this because you know deep down you're meant for more. And if this woke something inside you, subscribe now, because we're just getting started, and you owe it to yourself to finish what you started. There's a version of you inside that wants you weak. It wants you safe, quiet, obedient. It wants you scrolling instead of building, sleeping instead of grinding, making excuses instead of making moves. And the worst part? That version doesn't shout. It whispers. It convinces you that you're doing okay, while slowly killing every part of you that wants to rise. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The version of you that hits snooze, that talks about goals but doesn't show up for them, that waits for motivation like it's a bus that might never come. That version isn't harmless. It's the reason you keep breaking your own promises. And every time you give in to that voice, you're feeding it, strengthening it, letting it run your life, until one day it becomes who you are. You start believing you'll never make it. You start shrinking your vision to match your fear. And just like that, the strongest parts of you start to rot from the inside. But here's the truth most won't tell you. You don't destroy that version by yelling at it. You destroy it by starving it. You stop feeding it with comfort. You stop giving it power with your inaction. You outwork it. You outdiscipline it. You bury it in silence with daily execution. Because if you don't kill that version of you, it will kill your future. It will steal your time, your potential, your peace. That inner enemy doesn't stop until you make it stop. You owe it to yourself to fight back. Every day, every hour, every moment that voice shows up, you owe it to yourself to be louder. Pain is the part no one wants to talk about, but it's the part that makes you. The people who win in life aren't the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who learn to train in it. Pain isn't the punishment, it's the process, the gym, the fire that forges the version of you you've been too soft to become. Every rejection, every failure, every lonely night when you feel like you're wasting your time, it's not in vain. It's the weight room for your soul. Billionaires aren't born with resilience. They earn it by bleeding when no one's watching, by showing up when it's dark, when it's hard, when nothing makes sense, but they keep going anyway. You owe it to yourself to stop running from pain, to stop treating discomfort like a curse. Because the very thing you're avoiding is the thing that will build you, that will sharpen your mind, that will harden your discipline, that will make your voice louder, your presence heavier, your goals clearer. Pain doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're being built. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when you feel like quitting and you move anyway. You grow when life pushes you and you push back harder. That's how a dangerous mind is born. Not in comfort, not in applause, in pressure. So stop complaining. Stop backing off when it gets heavy. You owe it to yourself to endure, not just to prove the world wrong, but to prove that you're stronger than you thought. The pain you survive becomes the power you carry, and the world respects those who bled for what they believe in. You say you want change, but do your actions match your words? Because here's the truth. Without discipline, you're stuck. Forever. No clarity, no growth, no success. Just endless restarts. You can have goals, ambition, intelligence, but without self-discipline, it all collapses. Discipline is the structure you build around your chaos. It's the thing that keeps you focused when your emotions try to take control. It's not about motivation. That fades. It's about doing what's required, even when you're tired, bored, uninspired, or alone. Especially when you're alone. You owe it to yourself to become dangerous with discipline, ruthless with your standards, obsessed with your habits, because without them, you'll break under pressure. You'll cave every time life gets hard. But with discipline, you become untouchable. You walk into storms with your head high. You operate with order, while the rest of the world spins in circles. Billionaires don't live on impulse. They live on systems, routines, mental frameworks that keep them moving forward when others freeze. Discipline is what separates leaders from wanderers, winners from wishers, focused minds from chaotic souls. Tell yourself every morning, I don't wait to feel ready, I act because I'm committed. That's discipline, that's maturity, that's power. So stop making promises you won't keep. Stop negotiating with your excuses. You don't need to feel like doing it. You owe it to yourself to become the kind of person who does it anyway. Discipline is the path. And the exit door from your old life? It's locked. And the only key is consistency. Stop waiting for support. Stop hoping someone claps for you. Stop needing validation. Because truth is, most people won't believe in you until it's safe, until the results show, until it's already done. But by then, it's too late. The real ones, the dangerous ones, they believe before the evidence. They believe while they're still bleeding, while it's still dark, while no one understands what they're building. You owe it to yourself to believe first, before the money, before the praise, before the recognition. Because belief isn't about convincing others. It's about building identity. If you don't believe in your vision, who will? If you don't fight for your future, who's going to do it for you? You have to learn to move in silence, to build alone, to work like no one's coming, because they're not. They've got their own lives, their own doubts, their own limits. You owe it to yourself to be different, to be obsessed, to go beyond what others expect, because your life doesn't belong to their opinion. Being alone isn't your curse. It's your edge. You're not surrounded by noise. You're surrounded by clarity, no distractions, no fake support, just you and your decisions, just you and your discipline, just you and the voice inside your chest saying, I'm not done. So next time you feel alone, remind yourself, this is the phase where winners are born. In silence, in shadows, in struggle. You don't need more people. You need more focus. You don't need more cheerleaders. You need more consistency. And if you can learn to trust yourself in the dark, you'll be unstoppable in the light. You owe it to yourself to walk alone until the world has no choice but to follow. You keep waiting for someone to save you, for the right time, for the perfect plan, for something, anything, outside of yourself to push you. But what if no one ever comes? What if no one ever believes? What if this is it? Just you, your fire, your fight? Because here's the truth. If you don't do it, no one will. If you don't rise, your potential dies with you. If you don't move, your future stays locked behind a door you never had the courage to open. You owe it to yourself to be the one who breaks the cycle. Nobody's coming to fix your life. No mentor is going to magically appear. No motivation is going to carry you forever. You are the answer. You are the strategy. You are the discipline. And until you accept that, you'll stay stuck, watching others build what you were capable of, too afraid to claim what was already yours. You owe it to yourself to stop playing small, to stop underestimating the power you hold. There's a version of you that's waiting to be unleashed, the one that doesn't make excuses, the one that doesn't complain, the one that shows up every day, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need more luck. You need more grit. You don't need someone to save you. You need to become the person that never needed saving in the first place. And maybe you're tired. Maybe you failed before. Maybe the weight you carry feels unbearable. But that's the exact reason why you can't quit. You've already suffered. Don't waste it. Use it. Let it sharpen you. Let it ignite you. Let it turn your silence into power. You owe it to yourself to become the version of you that you were always meant to be. Not next year, not someday, now. So stand up, fix your posture. Look yourself in the mirror and say, if I don't do it, no one will, and I won't die with regret. If this message hit you, don't scroll. Leave a comment right now. Let the world know you're done waiting. And if you're serious about rebuilding your mind, your habits, and your future, subscribe now. This is where everything changes. This is where average dies. This is where you finally start becoming who you were meant to be.